So anyway, first off, let's start with this. We had those 2 days back in July where we got together. You came down here to Northern Ohio. For anybody that doesn't know, all the videos that are going to be coming out within the next 2 months were all in Northern Ohio. And Tammy came to visit. They were all shot within a matter of like 48 hours. So it was pretty intense. And just a follow up on that, how tired all of us were after all of our adventures, like me, you, and then Jason, who has helped us out in some investigations we're going to be showing in October. All of us just absolutely exhausted.
Yes.
And how are you feeling now? Because I know that the exhaustion probably brought down the immune system and the whole deal, huh?
Yeah, I'm just getting over COVID. So I'm on hit week 3. So I go back to work in 2 days. So I was tired, exhausted, definitely exhausted. And then, of course, I came back and started working, which puts me right back to the other side, which kept me even more exhausted. So, but yeah, so I go back to work Wednesday. I'm ready.
Because I mean, I would imagine that 2 days, I mean, you were open for pretty much that entire time, weren't you? So that just had to have been exhausting through and through.
Yeah, and then you don't sleep because you go back, and then we had the bowling pin thing, and then I didn't even realize it until I walked back into my room that night after the one investigation, and there was a bowling pin sitting by my door.
Yes.
Remember, I put you that picture? I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me right now?"
Yeah, and
so then, of course, I didn't sleep at all.
And not even a joke. It's like a lot of the follow-up stuff, because we've been texting each other back and forth, has just been a blur based on how tired I even was. But the bowling pin thing, so later on in October, we're going to be releasing the video from the Williams County Jail. And if you guys are wondering what the bowling pin thing is all about, we'll do a follow-up video to that too, because some crazy stuff happened that later on that day or that night after we got back from the jail. But yeah, it's pretty intense. And I just do want to throw this out there that we've got a lot of other investigations that are going to come across the channel. So that's this channel right here. If you're watching this on Facebook, it's going to be the youtube.com/whatsajosh channel. Every other Sunday at 7 o'clock, we premiere the videos. But what I found out, because when we have our investigation in October, have we told everybody what we're doing in October yet?
I think you did.
Did we? Okay. So it's not like a secret that we're going to be doing at the Cottonwood.
No.
So we know that Cottonwood is like incredibly active. So the plan for the production schedule is we got these smaller kind of revisiting investigations where like we did with the Eliza video that we just did, and the Carson block shops with Elizabeth. Those will be taking us up till October. Then in October, we're releasing the intense. I mean, all of it's intense, but this stuff is like crazy intense. Like if you came to this channel to watch the ghost hunting stuff where you're bringing out the REM pods and getting hardcore EVP audio, October is when we're going to be sharing all those. And I think that's the stuff that really exhausted us.
Oh gosh, without a doubt. The rest of it was not so much, for sure, without a doubt. And the energy and, just everything we went through is crazy.
I mean, and so what we want to do in the so the way October is going to look is we're going to do the haunted school, the haunted jail, and then at the very last weekend, Halloween weekend, was when we're doing the Cottonwood. And obviously it takes a while to get these videos edited and produced and pushed out. So we have something for that weekend. We're thinking, let's just do a couple hours live from the Cottonwood. So if you're free on that weekend and you want to watch it at some point, you can watch it live, or it'll be immediately posted. You can do that. But I found out that YouTube requires you to have 1,000 subscribers to be able to go live on YouTube. And we like to do it on YouTube because that's where all the content is so far. So to do that, if you're watching these videos, like we've got well over 1,000 people watching these videos. I mean, if you add them all up, if you're watching them, subscribe to the channel. That way we can go live and not have any issues with it. And you'll be part of that little exploration video. It's going to be fun. I'm excited.
And be patient. Like everyone's messaging me, these videos are cute, but I want to see the investigations. I want to see how he posted the flashlight coming on and off. Did it really go off when you told it to go off? Yes, it did, guys. So people are getting a little impatient. So they're just gonna have to be a little more patient.
Yeah, we're ramping up to that. We're saving the super intense stuff obviously for October. For for reasoning that it's October. It's like the season.
Halloween.
Yes, it's Halloween. So anyway, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That will help us be able to go live at the end of the month. And yes, like Tammy said, be patient because these videos are worth it. And they're also going to take me a while to get them edited up. That's part of the reason we're doing October is because video editing is difficult, plus life and bees and all sorts of crap.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
So let's get into the interesting stuff about the this latest Eliza video. So we went out to Secor Metro Park, Wolfinger Cemetery, and this was actually a 2-video deal. The first video was actually what launched the channel. And then when you came to town, I said, well, let's go to the cemetery because it's supposed to be the most haunted cemetery in this area. And we went there, and immediately when we walked in, you know, I wanted to show you where the recorder flipped over, but you were very you were determined. You're like, I want to go over to the cemetery. You were like pulled over that way.
Cemetery. Yeah. I just kept going to the cemetery,
Yes. And once we went over there, you were drawn even further because I was trying to direct you towards the Eliza grave.
Yeah. You kept pulling me one way. And I'm like, no, I need to go over there. I need to go over there. I need to go over there. And I just knew I needed to go over there.
Yep. And we went over there. But what was interesting was on the way over there, and we covered it in the video a little bit, but a lot of the information didn't really come out until after the video was already put out. But you saw a very familiar name on that stone as we were walking over to the kids' graves.
Yeah. So well, we didn't know the kids' graves were even there. I was pulled to my family's grave. So, well, I didn't know I had family there. So yeah, and you walked up to the one side and you could see Leonardson, which is my maiden name, and that was freaky enough. And then when I turned the corner on the other side of the stone, it said James Leonardson, which is my dad's name, which was even really creepy. So I thought there's no way we're not related to that person in that thing, which makes me wonder then, did that person have the same ability that I did? Because it was so strong when I got out of your car that I need to go to the cemetery. I need to go to the cemetery. I need to go to the cemetery. And you kept trying to take me over here. And I'm like, nope, I need to go over there.
Right.
Which got me thinking, after finding out that I'm related to these people, I wonder if this is also this bloodline has the same ability that I do.
So do you remember what the dates were on those stones?
Yeah. So he died May 30th of 1878. And so he died, he was 65 years old when he died. So it was like 1811 to 1878 or something along that line. So, but then that sent me on. So when my dad passed, my mom sent me a whole bunch of stuff that she had kept for all these years, like letters from him when he was in Walla Walla, Washington prison, and you know, just a whole box of stuff. And I never went through it. And I thought, God, I just got to start somewhere. So I came across my mom and dad's marriage license, and they got married in Lucas County.
Wow. And for anybody that doesn't know
where the cemetery is.
Yep.
So, and I had no clue they got married in Ohio. And then I did a little bit more digging, and my grandfather married a second wife in Ohio. So I thought, okay, we have to be related somehow. So then I started the journey of, I actually got really lucky and found a family person from the Leonardson side that's into genealogy, and she gave me 200 pages of history from 1680 on. So it turns out James Leonardson in that cemetery is my great-great-grandpa's brother's son. So he would have been my great-great-grandpa's nephew.
Wow.
Yes. And it turned out James has been used so many times. You know, the names, they just repeat them over and over again. And then it got weirder because then I started sending you information about our family. We're school teachers in your area. And my great-great-great cousin had a storefront on Main Street that burnt down in 1887.
That's just intense.
So they owned, it is so cool. It is just so cool what I've learned. And they actually owned, the reason why we own land in Michigan and Ohio, the Leonardson owned both of them. Well, you know, it's really close, but they got the land before they were states. So when they separated into states, their land became they ended up owning land in 2 states.
That's really, and for anybody that is watching this, and maybe you don't follow Tammy, you don't really follow me, you don't know us very well. So Tammy lives in northern Michigan. She's up there
Yeah.
pretty close to the tip of the mitt. And these videos were filmed in northern Ohio. So, I mean, just to put in perspective, the drive is what, about 4.5 hours? So
Yeah.
it's not like we're right down the road from each other and that you're just
Oh,
over
no,
in
no, no.
Monroe
God,
County
no.
or Detroit. You're all the way up there. And
Yes.
so is this the first that you've known you had any family from down this way?
Yeah. I had no clue. No, and I hadn't even looked at my mom. She didn't talk much about it. Never knew they got married in Ohio. And then, like I said, then I started finding one thing after another, and finding out that, that they were fundamental for the Berkey Elevator Company,
Yep.
that they helped found the Berkey Elevator Company, and, all these places that we went when we were down there. But it was just so crazy because we found the other kids' grave by going to my family's grave because it was right on the other side of it.
It was so weird.
Yeah, so I had no clue. So basically, my whole family came here in 1680, and we've got from that on, and most of them that moved from New York moved in your area, and they created and farmed and found, and so it was just crazy. But it answers why as soon as we got out, I'm like, nope, I need to go over there. I need to go over there.
What's interesting too is you talk about Berkey. In this video, we have another video that's going to be coming out where we revisit Gibbs Bridge. And when we actually drove to Gibbs Bridge, I don't know if you realize, we were passing through Berkey. It's literally a town of like 300, and maybe not even that. And then the Gibbs Bridge is just shortly down. So we actually went through that small town. So the connections, that's what was wild to me as you're texting me all this, because we've only talked through text since you left.
Yes. Yes.
I'm just like, my God, the connections are just, it's like this, like everything was fitting in, which we did not expect any of that to happen. We just thought we were going to go out and maybe get some EVPs, see what you were feeling, but you end up finding out some genealogy, which is pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, like a great uncle served 13 terms on the Supreme Court in New York. Yep. And so my son went down the rabbit hole with it. It gave him the 200 pages, and he's like into this, and he keeps sending me all these different things. And so him and I are going to go to New York next year.
Nice.
Where they landed, because the family was so fundamental in creating pacts with Native Americans and stuff that there's actually monuments and stuff to our family out there.
Really?
And so all of this, yeah, it's so crazy. So my son was like 100% into this. So I told him, okay, we'll go next year. So we're going to go next year out there. Montgomery and Syracuse. I can't even say it. My husband says it like it.
Is it Syracuse?
No, it's like Syracuse or something like that. Yeah. So we're going to go out there, and it's got like the graves descriptions and everything. And it's just kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't know what happened when it got close to my dad and grandfather, but like before that, they were all very structured and like that. But I'm going with that Mr. James Leonardson in that cemetery had the ability that I did, because man, I knew we were there to talk to Eliza, and you're like, they're over here. And I'm like, well, that's really nice, but I want to go over there. So it was kind of really cool for me. We didn't catch much at the cemetery, but
right, but right, and that's what we went there for one thing and got something completely different. And yeah, when you listen back to the audio that we did from the EVP session, I would suggest that anybody that hasn't watched the video yet, put your headphones on when you listen. There was a couple unexplained things, but I don't know.
The birds were really loud.
Yeah, I mean,
I would think when you go back there next time, go talk to James.
That, I was thinking about going back when it cools down a little bit, because it's so muggy where I'm at right now, but like going back right before the park closes, because they won't let you in there after dark, but right at dusk, and to see if we can do one session by James, and then with the 3 kids.
Yes.
Because if you remember, we put that light up cat ball over there, and if that thing goes off, so we might do a 3rd follow-up video to this last one that just came out. But so why do you think that that your family was trying to communicate with you there or drawing you in? Would you think there's a reason why you've now been set on this path to figure out your family history?
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, there's nothing, like, I didn't grow up with my dad, you know. I mean, there's so much shame around the history of my dad and even my grandpa.
Mhm.
But to find out some of these things and just to know, I mean, a couple of the women, I'm sure had gifts because they talked about the church shunning them.
Mhm. Hmm.
So the only thing that I can think of back then, the church didn't shun. It doesn't say that they had illegitimate children or anything. It just said that they were shunned and refused baptism. So
Interesting.
I'm wondering if they seen and heard like I did as a kid. You know, you're talking to people that other people can't see, and if they thought then, because you know, my mom thought, oh, she's possessed or whatever, and my grandma pretty much saved me. So the ones that were shunned because they founded some of these churches, and some of their own kids, the daughters, were shunned and weren't allowed to be baptized or be part of the church.
Hmm.
And they didn't have any kids, so my thinking is they might have been had the same abilities as me. And so I'm thinking I'm going to find out how much more profound and how much more of this history, you know. And plus, you know, for Oliver, because I'm pretty sure he's got this too, to have a history, to know, okay, you're not weird, you've got generations of people, you know, because the
Right.
church pretty much shunned me too when I started seeing and hearing dead people. You know, it was frowned on, it's not good. So I don't know. I mean, that's my conclusion with it. I've been trying to reach them from the other side, but I haven't been able to connect. I only got to connect with my great grandfather so far. So I keep
Interesting.
trying to meditate, shut off, going to the other side, but I've only gotten as far as my great grandpa.
And when you refer to Oliver, for anybody who doesn't know, that's your grandson, right?
Grandson. Yeah,
Um,
my grandbaby.
so the forgot what I was going to ask. I had something and then I just lost it. What was I going to ask you? Oh, as far as the shunning goes.
Yeah.
So how did you find out that they were shunned? I know it was in that, I'm assuming it's in that packet of papers, but
Yep,
was it
it's
like
in
public
here.
record?
I don't know. This all came out of the genealogy. I'm sure that it would be because it talks about matters of the church and what church it was, and that
Mhm.
they had been sponsored because you couldn't be baptized without being sponsored. So someone had to whatever. But it said that they were not allowed to be baptized and that they were shunned from the baptismal thing. So my own experiences with church and my abilities, I don't see they didn't have any illegitimate kids. They weren't married. I
Right.
don't know what it doesn't say why they were shunned. I'm just guessing because I know what I went through as a kid.
So would that have been here in Ohio or out in New York?
New York.
New York. So that's from the very beginning then. So what
Yes.
time period would that have put that around then? Would that have been
Early 1700s. We landed in 1680, and it goes from 1680 all the way through the 17. I mean, it goes all the way to current, but most of it was the 1700s.
do you think there's I don't know my timelines very well as far as that history goes, but do you think there is any type of connection between their shunning and the Salem witch trials, considering that's all East Coast stuff?
Maybe it doesn't say anything about witchcraft or anything. I'm just guessing, just knowing from when I was just 8 years old, and that was, you know, 50 years ago. How 58. How I was treated and how you're perceived. You know, now people take it way differently and that, but
Right.
I know how it was, and having to have the elders pray over you because they think you're evil. So, you know, that's probably in the same era because it was the early 1700s and like that. And then I think probably from that, anyone that had the ability after that learned and just decided to be quiet, like I was for so long.
Interesting. Well, that's definitely something we need to keep updated on and keep following because
Yeah.
that's that I think that's the coolest part of the story. And I know people were tuning in to watch the ghost interaction, but I think
Yeah.
this is the real story of that last video. And like I said, it's not covered a whole lot in the video because we didn't know much about it other than the familiar
No.
name until you dug in a little bit and you really I can't believe you found 200 pages worth of family
Yeah,
information.
400 years of stuff.
Wow.
400 years, and it's because the great great granddaughter of John Leonardson, which is James Leonardson, the one that we found. It was she did all of this before she passed.
Wow.
So she made this history. But also they're in books. They're in books in the New York Library for the Mohawk Valley, because the Leonardsons were fundamental in creating a trade where Native Americans and, you know, Americans and settlers could coexist with each other. So I'm finding out we're actually in history books.
That's really interesting. So there you go. There's the lesson. Yeah, for the right reasons. So there's the lesson in all this. You go to a location, and for anybody that's doing investigations, you just never know what you're going to find when you leave. And yeah, that's really cool. So
I'm just grateful for the pull there. I mean, it really is, because it's so cool to see this stuff, and you know, the names, and yeah, it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah. So if you guys want to see the video that we're talking about, it's the last video that was posted. I can't remember what I titled it now, but it was the one that was literally posted like the day before this one. So make sure you check it out. Did you have anything else you wanted to add to any of that?
To the cemetery one?
To any of it.
Well, I'm going to do a live, Facebook Live here, because everyone wants to go on an investigation. I get so many messages. I want to go. You know, and we're going to give them a chance in October to go, but in a different way, because, you know, it's going to be unedited. We're going to we'll take them in the creepy basement. We'll take them everywhere. And you and I both know we've been there enough that we've never been there and not got something.
Right.
And it's their chance to do this. So I'm going to flip a Facebook Live real quick and just tell people that follow, when you get to 1,000 followers, then you can just randomly pick one of the 1,000 people that have followed your channel, and I'm going to give them a free 30-minute phone reading.
Ooh, and everybody asks about that, so everyone's going to love that.
Yeah, well, we're going to do that, and then I'll post the link. So I'll have you resend me the direct link, and I'll post that under my video, and we'll get it so that people can watch the ghost hunt.
Yeah, excellent. And yeah, and keep in mind, guys, everybody who's watching, this is just all the very beginning. Just be patient with us. Like literally the channel started back in the spring because I was bored with the other 3 projects that I was doing. But it's something that we want to continue to grow it a little bit. And I'm grateful that you're part of it, because it's a lot of fun. I know I think in the last few years, we've been looking for a way to really work together. I've had to iron out some things in my personal life and getting my other career started. But now that things have kind of settled down, we're able to do this and actually connect in a way that we really haven't connected in a long time. So I'm grateful for that.
The school is definitely one place I can say I will not go back. I will not go back to the school. The jail, I would go back in a heartbeat.
It was a really interesting. I'm working my way through. It was very intense. I'm working my way through all the footage and getting everything lined up, and there's a lot of it.
Do you get scared again watching it?
What's that?
Does it scare you again when you're watching it, reviewing it? Do you remember? Does it like
the jail? No, because like I said, the jail was. I don't want to give too much away, but the jail was very playful. The school, though, when I put together, the most I've done with the school is I put together that trailer, that little commercial that I did, which shows everything that we did. That's just putting that together frightened me a little bit. And another piece of that I thought was interesting, of all that footage that we shot, you know, each time I would come back to the house, I would unload everything on the computer, recharge everything, and we'd go back out, especially right before the 2 biggies. And I call the biggies the jail and the school. Those are big undertakings. We lost 2 videos that we shot within the school, and we had some technical issues, and I remember batteries running low while we were in the school. That I don't know that's going to really reflect in the final video. That's a little behind the scenes for everybody. That just tells you how intense that was. As far as the jail goes, we've got everything we needed. Because I thought, I'm like, well, maybe it was because of the length of the videos or because of this, because of that. When we went to the jail, we didn't have any of those problems. And we shot, actually, I think we shot just, longer. Because I think we were at the jail until about 1 or 2 in the morning.
Yeah, we were there longer.
And we shot more footage from the jail, and they had no technical issues at all. So it's pretty crazy.
When I watched your little preview of the school, and then me saying something's going to happen in the hallway, you know, without giving too much away, I remember my headphone experience and what happened during that too.
Yes, and we got that.
and I can hear that go
Yeah.
through. So that was kind of creepy for me.
And I guess as a teaser, so when we get this out, and I'm thinking this is going to be one of the first ones, or was it the second one? It's going to be one of the first ones in October. I can't remember how I had it laid out.
Yeah.
The original idea was that we were going to split up, and there's three of us. So it was Tammy, Jason, and me. And you'll meet Jason later on when we push these out. And I think we had done the flashlight thing first, and we all kind of collected
right after when they said come in. Remember,
yes,
we went we went right in, and that's in your teaser, so that's not giving nothing away. When I said I heard come in, and we went right up there and did that because they were ready to mess with us at that point.
Yep. And we all decided we're not going to go alone.
No.
We didn't.
You started to.
I started to go down the hallway to the area that was the most active, and that's where the flashlight. It was in like a stairwell, which stairwells are just creepy in general. And I went down there to see if there's a door that they had said would slam shut, or slam open. I think is what Austin had told us. Austin, is the guy that set all that up for us. So I went to check it, and as I'm going down there, I mean, this heavy feeling, and I kept feeling like almost like spider webs on my head. Like every time I feel like I had some sort of experience, it feels like something's just brushing the top of my little bald head. And I kind of turned around back over to you guys and like, all right, we're good. Stick together.
Yeah, well, nothing beats Jason grabbing the stairwell. You got your equipment, and I had to open the freaking door after all of that. 2 guys and a girl, and I'm the one who has to go through the freaking creepy door. Like, that was me.
My favorite part is when Jason looks at us and says, I think I'm going to be sick. Anyway, you want to watch these videos. Again, these ones are going to be coming out in October. We're shooting we're putting out new videos every other weekend through the summer. And like I said, the summer ones, I think the summer ones are a little bit lighter. For me, they're easier to edit, but also they are a little on the lighter side. I think a lot of them are really showcasing your abilities and telling the stories of the areas that we're at, which is kind of cool. But once we really get into October, the proverbial crap is hitting the fan, and it's going to be pretty cool. So I'm excited for everybody to be able to watch them. I'm excited to get to edit them. I just need a chance to finally be able to do it once I kill all the bees in my house. So anyway,
and I'll be excited to relive them.
Yeah. And that's the other part too, is, that was such a fun 2 days worth of filming that it went by so quick. And, there's a lot of elements. For me and you, we haven't seen each other in a few years. So it was just a bit of a reunion for us. I'm showing you the area. We're playing with all the new equipment. We got so much going on. And to be able to relive it and watch some of these videos and some of the stuff that's not going to actually make the final cut, it's just behind the scenes stuff is kind of fun too. So
but you could always do some behind the scenes stuff.
Oh yeah, we'll do that. Absolutely.
Raw footage.
So anyway, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And are you still doing your podcast, or is that something that's going to be coming?
I am not doing those right now because of the Undivided and so much other stuff going on. And so I'm just going to start pushing the YouTube and doing everything else. Okay. It's cool. Like I finished with you. I was home for a week, got COVID, was down for 3 weeks. So now I'm just kind of coming back too.
So it's clear I tested negative for COVID, so it did not come from me. As soon as you told me, I shoved a swab up my nose.
100%. I was home for way over a week when I got it. So we're golden. It's all good.
Like, I'm not going to lie. There was a part of me that I was hoping I was going to test positive so I could get that 5 days off work. But,
5 days? I couldn't even get out of bed for 7.
Well, last time I had it, I was fine. But the COVID that everybody's been getting that's been knocking them down, that stuff's flat out scary.
Yeah, this one stuck. This one was bad.
Yeah, I'm glad you're all right, and I'm glad you're able to be your Undivided. And cool. Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like Zoom is running me out of my free minutes here. So make sure you guys visit TammySchuster.com is the website, and you can follow her on Facebook. Psychic Medium Life Coach Tammy Schuster is what you'll search there, and actually see the photos from Undivided and get information on that too, because that's a really cool thing as well. So. All right, Tammy. Well, thank you.
Bye, Josh.